Here is a look at day 11 sketch. It's a 2-page layout, which I know some of you guys and gals are going to love. And right off the bat, I really love this. The photos that I'm going to be using are from a float trip. So if you're not familiar with Texas, Texas has these gorgeous rivers. And so during the summer, we actually go float those in inner tubes. And you just float the natural current. And then a company picks you up at the end and then takes you back. And you either refloat or you go on about your business. But of course, you know, I have a lot of river photos. So I'm thinking that this grouping over here is excellent for the type of photos that you have a lot of, but yet they don't really differ a whole lot in between, if that makes sense. And then I also love the usage of 4x6s here and then some smaller photos right here. This was a trip that I've already started scrapbooking using Hillside Cottage. So you can see here I've just got several sticker sheets that just have random leftovers. So I'm hoping to use those up. And then here's a look at the papers. And so it just lends itself so perfectly to river floating. You know, you've got greens and blues. Now, don't get me wrong, rivers in Texas aren't blue. They're more like this color. And then, of course, I love these two patterns right here. And then that kind of looks like a picnic table, if you will. So I am going to go ahead and clear this off and cut the few pieces that need to be cut, and then grab my photos and we can get started. So to start off the left page, there was this big square that kind of was in the center. And so I've already cut a piece of black cardstock, a piece of sage cardstock, and then that blue gingham paper. And that's going to kind of be my anchoring spot on this layout. And then I'm going to be building it on a white daisy cardstock base, 12 by 12. And we're just going to center that. This black cardstock is 10.5 by 10.5, so there should be about 3/4 of an inch all the way around. Isn't that just so pretty against that white cardstock base? So there was this piece that was across, that went the entire span. It lines up with the 4x6s that are on the other layout. So I am lining it up at 5.5 because I have the bottom of my layout on my glass board. I have the bottom of my layout at 1.5. So 1.5 plus 4 is 5.5. So we've got that, and then we've got some 3x4s that sit on top of this. Again, we have 4 of them, so they're going to span the entire width of this layout. And then I've pulled out a PML card from Hillside Cottage. So I got that one, and I've already matted these photos on 3x4 white daisy pieces of paper. I love how well this sentiment goes with our trip. So like as always, I like to get everything laid down and then complete the other layout and then embellish last. So if you recall, this is the layout that had the 3 4x6s and then had all the smaller photos right here. So there's not much of this white daisy cardstock base that shows. And of course I've got my 4x6 photos matted on 4x6 white daisy photo mats. And how I do that is I just trim 1/8 of an inch off of my photo. You don't need all 4 and 6 inches of your photo. Here is where it gets interesting. So I have this photo, and I'm realizing that that might be a little bit too big. And then I've taken some other photos and sized them on a 5x7 that had 8 photo wells. So I've got all those. And then I've also cut some pieces of pattern paper that are going to match that left side. Because remember, whatever you do on the left, you usually want to bring over to the right. But I'm thinking I might have to cut that down just a little bit more. So now this should come together a whole lot easier. So to keep this straight, I am going to have to be extremely careful. And it's a good thing I didn't glue those down yet, because some of these some of these will have to go under. Yeah, we'll have to go under those 3 4x6s. To start laying these down, I'm going to start with this photo because I want you to be able to see my husband's face. By placing it first, I can ensure to put it down far enough that you can see his face. And then I can start doing all the other ones. And because of the way my collage does, some of these are just a little bit skinnier. But I think all in all, it'll be just fine. So I'm going to put that one there. I think I want a yellow one here. I am going to speed this process up, but I just kind of wanted to walk you through what I'm thinking here. I am just using the top and the sides, the left and the right, to make sure that the paper or the photo that I'm gluing down is somewhat straight, trying to keep the same 1/16 of an inch border in between. And then I'm also trying to separate the pattern paper. So you see me here, playing with where they're located, making sure that those are separated. So this is a good time to remind you that if you liked what you are seeing, go ahead and hit that like button. It lets YouTube know to show you more of the same, and it helps me out by letting YouTube know that the content here is very likable, and it will show it to other people. So now that I've finished that, I am going to just put this layout base into my paper trimmer and trim all those off. You could use scissors. To tell you the truth, I'm not good with scissors. I never could cut straight, and so I just prefer to put it in my paper trimmer and cut those little pieces off. Pretty happy with that. It's a little crooked in places, but I think overall it's going to be good. So now I can come back through and adhere these 4x6s down to the layout. Let's go ahead and put this, just in case. I've got some irregularities. And so of course they'll hide some of that paper. And I want this lined up at the bottom, and if it has to overlap that 4x6 PML card, then that is fine. Okay, so it's kind of busy, but like I said, I love that it allows you to do a whole bunch of related photos. So let's bring in the other one and see how they look side by side. So I like it. So now it is time to embellish these guys. If you recall, I'm actually using the Happiness Lives Here sticker sheets. Totally unrelated product lines, but they have a lot of the similar colors. And so that's why I chose these, because I have tons of these stickers left. So I am going to pull out my anti-static pouch so I can take some of these the stickiness off of some of these stickers. I like this little file tab right here. So I'm going to go ahead and set that down. Go ahead and pull these stickers off and get them kind of placed. They're not going there. I'm just placing them on so I can use some of this real estate here. And so There was a full word that said sunshine. That would be really nice if I still had that full word. But I know that I used high on a card, but for the life of me, I can't remember what I did with the other S, the N, and the E. So sun, I like Memories Made here. So I'm also going to take the sticky off of that one and add some 3D foam tape. I have all the stickers that I want the sticky taken off. And then I have this one that I think I'm going to tear like washi tape. And I don't want the edge to show, so the sticker that I'm keeping, I want to make sure I'm tearing toward me, and that'll keep the white edge away. And to anchor part of my title, I want that right there. And then I'm going to bring that pink that's right here. I'm going to bring it down here with this sticker. Trying to keep the sentiment straight, of course, you know, because the sticker is not. So Memories Made here. My big, huge sun, I want down here. Probably gonna have to center it in this PML card so it'll look correct. And then I have hello, so I'm thinking H-E-L should be right over the U. H-E-L-L-O. And then that'll also, remember on that right side, I've got that PML card that's kind of got a wood grain to it. So that will bring the wood grain over here. So I'm thinking about that. So there's a lot of blank spot right here, so I'm thinking about doing happy right here. We've got that, and then there's these little bitty leaves, or leaves rather. You know, flowers don't really go with floating the river, but I do have the flowers in some of the pattern paper. So it's just going to have to work. So let me get another one of these. Another leaf and put it right there. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and lay these down. So I got all the hello glued down, and then now I'm just adding liquid adhesive. So I glued down the U first because it's centered, and then you can just work yourself out. It doesn't matter which one. I chose the N, and then that way your title should be centered as long as you're spacing your letters equally apart. And then I'm thinking about adding this right here. So I'm just going to add some liquid adhesive. And that shouldn't take long to dry. And then I'll just add just a little bit of 3D foam tape under there. So I have already taken the backing off of this 3D foam tape, and that way I can just slide it under there and push it down, and it is ready to go. So for the most part, I think I'm done with this layout. I'm going to put my date right there. So now we can pull out this layout, and here's what I'm talking about. See how that has kind of the wood grain? So I brought the wood grain over here, and I think I'm going to put stickers in all of these. Yeah, so I like that up there. Kind of separates it from these. It's, you know, the same kind of blocked sentiment. And then even though I'd really like to have this by all these little what are those called? Fireballs. I think it's going to be better right here. And I'm trying to center it left to right, but keep the word crazy straight. And to signify my husband's crazy for going down that little waterfall. And then I already have 3D foam tape on this flower. So I think I'm going to do a grouping that kind of spans both of these. Don't want that big one. Let's pull another one of these. I was trying to empty a full sticker sheet, but I don't think it's going to work. Let's see if this is already glued down. Nope. So I think I'm going to add 3D foam tape to the back of this booger, and I think I'm actually going to pull out my foam circles for this. Makes it a whole lot easier. And then I'm also going to put 3D foam tape underneath the end of these leaves. I didn't take my sticky off, but I'm thinking if they're up on 3D foam tape, then it'll be good enough. So I went ahead and removed that one backing. Remove that backing. Put that right there. Okay, so I've kind of got them spaced out, which is a whole lot better. And then I've got some hearts. Let me find a sticker sheet that doesn't have much left. So I think it's going to be this one. And I've got a yellow heart. So I think I'm going to span that right there. I've got this heart that pretty much matches that. And then I've got a blue heart. So I may do that one, and then I've got a pink heart. Any more hearts? Any more hearts? Nope. So I think I like that. I'm going to do just a once over and then decide. I think I need to bring hearts over to this side. So I happen to have 2 pink hearts. I wanted these hearts to match. I'm going to put one on each side of sun. Let's see where that one is. So hard. Okay, so that one's that. And then I also needed to bring this color over. But I only have one heart. I was going to do these. So I think I'm going to put it right there. Let's bring that sketch back in and I can show you how mine compares. So this left layout pretty much is exactly like the sketch. I didn't include the 2 2x2 photos, but I just kind of ramped up the title. Instead of setting it off to the side, I just kind of made this. And if you're a one-page layout person, this would be perfect for a one-page layout. And then of course on the right, really happy with that. Again, it's pretty true to the sketch. I also didn't notice, that it's even got some blocked out little mini sentiments there, which I included happiness is. And then the only other thing is that it had a smaller 2x2 photo and an embellishment over a 6x4 photo. And I decided not to do that. But overall, I am really pleased with this 2-page layout. I will leave links down below to all the products that I used. I know for sure that the Hillside Cottage and Happiness Lives Here is still available. So if you like the patterns in this paper, then I'll leave links down below that will take you to my website and you can order those. And then I'll also leave links down below to all the people playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. If you aren't already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. And if you sign up for notifications, you'll be alerted the next time I post a crafty video, which during the month of March will be every day or pretty close to it. And then after that, I usually try to post about 2 times a week, just kind of depending on what's going on. And like I mentioned before, if you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. It helps YouTube show you more videos of the same, and it also helps me by letting YouTube know that you liked what you saw, and it gets my videos out in front of more people. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. I will see you tomorrow with another layout.